Somebody Dog. And we're live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Sign on, rock on, roll on, jump on. Gotta come on to get some information on this. Today we'll be looking at dementia with medical practitioner Cynthia Patterson. So let's get into it. Now, Cynthia Patterson is a registered nurse and has been in the healthcare industry for over 24 years. Her job includes providing medical care and treatment. She believes that every single life matters, so she ensures that every day she handles her job with careful attention. She's hardworking, self-driven, and successfully implemented a new project, a new nursing home called Mission Care Senior Living Nursing Home. Now, she knows all about dementia, and last week I was mentioning that this topic is very dear to me because my mom has this disease, the horrible disease. So I'm happy that she's here to share with us because this is actually it's becoming more evident, more prominent. Yeah, we're seeing that more, dementia, Alzheimer more in Jamaica. And not just Jamaica, but the world. Hi, Dr. Patterson. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, sunny Jamaica. Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you? It's good to have you.
Thank you very much. Last week we had just some mishap where I get lost and I couldn't manage to get myself back on, but thank God I'm here this afternoon.
Yes, you are. Now let's dive right into it. Explain to us what is dementia and some of the common signs and symptoms of early onset dementia.
Okay, dementia is a variety of it's an onset of disorders that affects the brain and how people communicate and how they think, and behaviors and cultures. It could affect their day-to-day living, whereas they could have feed themselves, they're not able to feed themselves anymore. Activities of daily living, they can't shower themselves, and then that's where we come in, where we have to advocate for them. We have to, do their personal care and even encourage them to eat, because what it does, the mind, the memory, they do forget to eat. They do forget to do things that they love, like even their family members, they do forget. Dementia does impact the cognitive ability to do things. You have some people with dementia, they don't even remember their families, their loved ones. And, that's really, really sad. And in today's society, I just want to share a bit more insight because we have this stereotype where people used to look at dementia and said, oh, they're mad, or they maybe think, other things. But dementia is real, and it is affecting our society, especially in Jamaica. And I don't think as much education is there and for people and how to deal with dementia. So I just want to draw on some insights. And, as a result, I've set up a nursing home where I do specialize in dementia care, because it's very, it's everywhere now. And,
Yes.
we don't have much nursing home or much education on dementia. Because it affects the ability, it affects the body, the mind, it affects on a whole, it affects the even thoughts, the activities, things that they used to love, they're not able to do it anymore because their brain is affected by this, by this disease.
Yes. What's the real cause of dementia?
I don't think there's any real cause, but statistics have shown that due to isolation and stress, that can cause dementia. Being isolated, we have the elderly, some of them, they're living alone. They do, they think their thoughts, their mind, just one drifted off. And it develops, it affects their memory, it affects the mind. And so you have different dementia, especially for Alzheimer's, where for me, I would classify it as Alzheimer's is one of the most dangerous of the dementia, the umbrella term dementia. Because Alzheimer's, what it does, it affects the cognitive ability, and it does creep up very faster than the other dementia. You've got quite a few. You've got the vascular dementia, where it affects the blood flow to the brain. You have
Mm.
Alzheimer's, where it affects the memory. They all affects the memory, but Alzheimer's, it does give a mixture, and it's very, over time it just affects the memory, and it goes on until um you know they just can't do anything for themselves anymore. They've lost in their own thoughts, they're lost in their minds. So yes, dementia on a whole, it can just take over your life. And sadly, there's no treatment for dementia. You could have medication that helps to slow the process down, but there's no treatment.
No treatment, my God.
Yeah,
What's the
sadly.
difference? What's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia? I know that people usually mix the two up or use them interchangeably, but I know that there's a difference. What's the difference?
Right. Dementia is the umbrella term for all of the varieties of dementia. You've got different dementia, different types of dementia. So dementia is the umbrella name for all of them. You've got the vascular, you have the frontotemporal, you have Alzheimer's, you have I think I have yes, and you have the temporal, you have the vascular, and you have Alzheimer's, and there are quite others, but I can't think of them as we speak. But yeah, there are quite a few types of dementia.
All right. Why are you so passionate about Alzheimer dementia? Because I realize that you have started a new nursing home. What sparked this passion?
Right, my passion. I've worked across quite a lot of. I'm not sure if I've covered all the areas of nursing, but I know I do cover a few. And to me, geriatric was my favorite, because talking to the elderly, and I find it very interesting because you've learned from them. Sometimes they say things, and it can be so harsh, but deep down, that wasn't them.
That's not, yeah.
That's the dementia speaking. And so sometimes we will joke about it, we would laugh about it, and it's just to know that how quickly someone can change. You could be talking to, I would refer to Miss Brown, and in like a short space of time, she just changes. you know
Yes.
she's like a different person, and that's the dementia side coming out of her. And so therefore you have to have patience, of course. You have to have compassion, and and communication, because sometimes when you do communicate with them, even though they are communicating to you in their own world, you just can't say no, that's not it. If they said it's red, and it's black, sorry about that, it's black, you can't say it's not red. You just have to go along with them, and and accept what they're saying. And if you do that, it will be much easier for you. Things will
Mm,
be much easier.
yes. Now, how can we manage to, you know, care for someone with dementia? What can we do to, make things easier and just care for them?
Right. Some of the things that I have done, because I've got an aunt who's got Alzheimer's, and she is in the nursing home that I run. And some of the things that I've done with her is music therapy. She likes music. So I would use that to combat whenever she gets upset, whenever she gets hungry, we just use music, and she likes a certain type of music, and she would just dance away. She would just dance away. And, you just have to go with the flow with them and just entertain them. you know Once you entertain them and you go with the flow, it's so easy. You get them right back to where they was. And so I would say music, just find out what they like, the different types of activities they like, the food that they like. And you have to make their food the portion very small and
Yes.
appetizing. You use
Yes.
colors. I often use like the mixed vegetables. That's colorful. You've got the corn that's yellow, you've got the carrots that orange, and you've got the beans that's green, and you just put that in their food, and it's very appetizing to them you know so there are little things that you can do. You entertain them, and try and ensure that they're not isolated, because isolation is a killer with people with dementia.
Wow, wow. Now, talk to us more about your Mission Care Senior Living Nursing Home. It's here in Jamaica.
It is, yes.
Yes.
And that has been successfully set up, and it's up and running. Thanks be to God. And Mission Living, it's come from my passion, as my childhood dream of becoming a nurse. And then I'm looking to come back to Jamaica, and I was thinking, what can I do if I get back to Jamaica? And straight away I said, okay, a nursing home would be ideal, because I looked around and there wasn't much. And the ones that I've seen, they wasn't offering the support and, the care that's so needy, in our country. And so I, set up the nursing home from my experience and from the knowledge that I have. It's successfully opened, and it's going very good, I must say. Things are well organized there. I'm trying to get in some more equipment, like moving and handling equipment, so we could use. That's the other thing that we need to stop lifting patient or lifting load, because as a result of lifting, I've got an injury back. My
Oh,
back has been
no.
injured, yes. So, and that's why not to have I'm so keen to have a equipment that my staff can use to transport patient around.
Mm. Where is your nursing home located?
So we the nursing home is located in Tollgate, Clarendon. To be exact, that would be McGilchrist Palm, Tollgate, Clarendon.
Mm.
And the
And if
home
go ahead.
facilitate. It's a female and male, and it's very distinct. You've got the male and the female in their separate wards. And
We've lost her for a little bit, just her audio. Okay, it's back. It's back. Wonderful. All right. So you were telling us that you have separate wards for the male and for the
it's a
females.
female, yes, and that is just to provide dignified care, and because it's in Jamaican culture, female doesn't like the male to see them in a certain way. And so
Yes.
that's why I make sure that it's distinct. You've got the male and the female, just to incorporate their privacy and dignity.
Hmm. Let's backtrack a bit. Now, what are some early signs that we can look forward for, or see when you probably say, all right, maybe my loved one has early onset of dementia? What are those early signs?
Okay, some of the early signs that we could look for is signs of being forgetful. That's the very common one. They forget where they put their money. They forget where they put their things, and sometimes they do often accuse people of taking their stuff when it's not literally true. It's
Wow.
just where they have misplaced their stuff. being
Mm,
forgetful, sometimes in decrease in appetite, memory loss. It could be short term or long term. So you have to look out for these little signs and signs of being withdrawn. Sometimes they get very withdrawn. They don't want to talk to anyone. Their favorite daughter or their favorite grandchildren, they've got no interest and things like that. So those are some of the early signs that someone is, getting dementia. And I would urge family, you know, don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore it, because if you ignore it, then it will progress over time, and then it will be harder to manage. If you pick
yes.
up on those signs quite early, try and get your loved ones to do things, maybe listen to music, maybe go to church, you know, things that they normally love. You try to get them to engage in the things that they normally love.
Mm, all right. Now, getting back to where we were, you also have a charity organization.
Yes, I do. I considered myself well, I think I took after my late grandfather. He was like, in the community, everyone used to look to him for, for food stuff, whatever. So I think I generate that from him. I mean, I'm a very kind, passionate person. And so therefore, during COVID of 2000, and when COVID started, I had COVID and I was home recuperating. And then I saw on the television where people, I saw where I think it was Blessing of the Flow, there's a charity organization in Jamaica where they were giving out food packages, and straight away says, "Wow, that is something that I would like to do." And so we started out. It was me and some of my other colleagues, and they dropped out, and I continued, and I'm still doing so. In 2024, I had a back to school where I was able to hand out school packages and help a lot of people, along with other colleagues, not just myself. We would come together and we would help, you know, people with medical expenses. It could be helping with entrepreneur. It could just be about anything. People would call to say, okay, we don't have any food. Can you help us with food this week? And there's a local shop. I would say to them, okay, you could give them like $5,000 worth of food and I'll cover it. Sometimes 3,000. It all depends on how much we accumulate. But so far, the support has been a bit laid back, I should say, and so things are not going the way that I want to. But it's in my interest to continue in the area of giving out food packages and helping where I can. And yeah, that's it.
And what's the name of the charity organization?
It's called Heritage of Moko Foundation.
Oh, you're from Clarendon.
It is in Clarendon, yes. Have you
Yes,
heard of Moko?
yes.
Yes.
But you're from Clarendon.
I'm from Clarendon. Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for today. I trust that our friends were, informed. And as mentioned, this disease, it's horrible and it's becoming more prevalent, in the world. So we just have to look out for signs. Remember, there's no cure, but there is a treatment. I believe that
There's
there's a
treatment.
tablet
Yes, yes.
that can
Treatment just
slow.
to, slow down the process. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So no cure, unfortunately, for this horrible disease. But what we have to do is just be patient. That's a
Yeah.
key thing. We
Just
have
be
to be
patient.
patient.
Yes.
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 Thank you again. I guess we'll catch you next week, God willing.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Sarah Han.
Oh, you're welcome. It's Sarah, but it's fine. All right, take care again.
Okay. Take care.
All right, you too. And that was Dr. Cynthia, or I should say Nurse Cynthia. I can call her Dr. too, Nurse Cynthia Patterson, and she spoke about dementia and Alzheimer's. Yeah. Hey, this is Love 101 FM, the family station. Do remember that you can always rewatch the live if you missed it and you have some information that you want to jot down.